We're back with another video in this hellhole meta we're currently in, and today we're playing some Spellboost Rune. Spellboost Rune is a pretty fun deck. I think it's massively exploding in popularity right now. Not like competitively, but like in terms of people just liking the deck, I think. Because, I mean, you get to use Maiser and his rapid fire. Who doesn't love a bit of rapid fire? So this list is not mine once again, of course. I have not a single original bone in my body, so this is the list made by a pro player, Parachan, whose videos I tend to reference for rune decks because I mean he's played a lot of rune in the past before and now, so yeah. This is his spell boost list. It is he's gotten on some decent win streaks, like 12 win streaks and stuff with this list, so I mean it's pretty good list, right? But yeah, I mean it's pretty fun list as well from my testing. It has like a ridiculous amount of healing, which feels really good because like sometimes Wrath will like take away like 15 health in one turn and you can just heal it back up. It's pretty funny. I mean, so the healing makes this have a slightly better Wrath matchup than like maybe some other decks, even though I mean like it's still quite bad because you need to survive to quite late in order to OTK. But the healing really helps, I think. So yeah, we have this deck list has a ton of healing. Other than that, we just aim to kill people with Maiser and his spell. It's like basically the only source of damage in this deck. So yeah, that's the list, and let's jump into some games. So for our first game, we are playing against everyone's favorite deck, Blood. We don't really know if they're Wrath or Evil. They're most likely Wrath though, and we are going second here. So I find this deck does quite well going second actually, because we have like so many going second payoff cards like Izunia's Revival and Eleanor. So I do like going second with this deck, even though it's against an aggro deck. As for the mulligan, I do like to keep Amaryllis here as long as it's aggressive matchup. If you see Blood, you definitely instant keep Amaryllis, but and that if it's a more aggressive matchup, like if it's like Sword or something, if you somehow find a Sword player right now, go ahead and keep the Amaryllis to help you deal with the early aggro. There is consideration for trying to save Amaryllis for lethal later on in the game, but I think it's fine. You can kill people even without Amaryllis, so it's not that necessary. It's better to use her for the answering the war early game so you don't just immediately die. So we're doing that, and then we do keep Maiser in the opening. Just one copy I think is fine. 2 copies is maybe a bit too much, but 1 copy should be fine. And then other than that, we keep card draw like Eleanor and basically Eleanor, I guess. So early on we're just gonna use the Amaryllis, pick up her spell. It doesn't matter if they clear it. Actually, we kind of want them to waste a Silver Snake clearing this if they're dumb enough to, because we just want the Curse of Suffering here is the main point. So we're going to go ahead and just play Curse of Suffering here. We'll get rid of well, not get rid of, but help us weaken their board. We pick up the draw of the Amaryllis as well, which is okay. Gonna place Asuka and Shuri here, so I guess it's a bit of a slow turn for them, which is fine for us. Going first, we are just fine to play Eleanor here, but since we're going second, we want to save Eleanor for next turn when we have more evil points than them, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. So this time we're just gonna go ahead and put out a ward with the Clay Golem, and then put out the Mysterian, pick out another Mysterian Circle as well. Just spell boost the Misers in hand. We have 2 Spicers in hand now, which is normally a bit bricky, but we have a decent amount of draw, I guess, with Eleanor and Sloth's Command as well. Sloth's Command is great for board lock, and like not so that you're not forced to spend evil points to clear your opponent's board every turn, so you can save evil points to maybe have the advantage to use Eleanor and stuff like that. So that's what Sloth's Command's job is. It also, unlike the usual stuff, this can target your own followers as well, so it's much less of a brick than like stuff like Greater Will in the past. So we're just gonna go ahead and set up the Maiser here now since we can. We have enough spell boosts already. Just try to get the hastening conviction as fast as we can so we can start like getting the copies played so we can reach our OTK, or rather just lethal. Go ahead and evolve the Maiser as well to discount these. I mean my opponent can choose not to spend evil points if they want, but I think getting the hastening convictions discounted is quite valuable for being able to find lethal. There's my opponent with the Garnet Rondo, sorry, and then go ahead and get damage and pick me in the face as well, which is very annoying. Pick up the 3rd Maiser here. So with the 3rd Maiser here, we can actually look for a lethal next turn. Because I mean, you just gotta do math with how much health your opponent has and how many spells you can play. If you do the math here, we can assume against Blood that they're probably going to have 20 health next turn, so we need to play 10 copies of the spell. If we use this Maiser's Evil Effect, we can keep a full hand of 0-cost spells for next turn, and then with this Maiser we can get another full hand of 0-cost spells, which is minimum 8 convictions for 0 PP, which means that we can easily hit 10 next turn, so we can go ahead and try to set up lethal for next turn here. Go ahead and get these to spell boost 5 so we can start playing them. And now this Maiser is ready at spell boost 5, and these are also at spell boost 5. We're gonna go ahead and play these as well. They'll just ping a bit of damage. The main point is to set up these spell boosts on these hastening convictions, and then we just finish off with evolving Maiser here, which will be a nice setup. Or a 0-cost full hand here that we can use to kill them next turn. That's the Asuka and Sheriff. At this point we don't really care what they do, as long as they don't kill us this turn, they're just dead next turn anyway, so that's fine. Opponent pulls out double Asuka and Shuri here, and then fuses the Chimera, and finishes off with a Diablo's Hedone to, I guess, deal a shit ton of damage to our face. We don't really have heal in our hand like we usually would with Spell Boost, but we just have lethal instead, which is better. So we can pick up 2 copies of the spell with this Maiser, so even though this is not Spell Boost 5 yet, we can go ahead and play that. We play the latest one so that the ones with the most spell boosts are kept in our hand. By the way, you can use this button to check all of your spell boosts at once. It's very helpful. I don't really use it much out of habit, but it's pretty helpful. So now we can go ahead and play the Maiser here. And then in order to get maximum value, we play 1 spell first, which is fine, and then that will put us ready to play these 0-cost ones. And now that we have played the 0-cost one, we can evolve this Maiser to discount all of them, and then we can... I mean, this is like this is really overkill, right? But it's fine. So yeah, we just have lethal here. So this is a very high roll OTK at turn 6, but let's move on to some less high rolly games. For our next matchup here, we are going second against Shadow. Again, going second is favored for us. Shadow is probably one of, if not the easiest matchup for this deck. We just like completely hard counter their entire existence. We have more than enough healing to keep up with any damage they might try to deal. And then we have damage shield with air to block Techno Lord. So really it's hard to, unless you like super break, it's hard to imagine actually losing to Machina. They don't even have a good way to clear Amaryllis, so yeah, we just hard counter them really badly. So again, for our early game, we're just going ahead and get Curse of Suffering here, just to deal with early aggro while we I guess get Amaryllis' effect going. Our opponent's gonna go ahead and play the recovery here. I'm not really playing any followers, which is good for us. So here's where Sloth's command kind of shines. I guess we can use it, go ahead and play it on our own Amaryllis here, just to cycle it and get it out of the way. We could play this as well, but we kind of want to keep the Revalian officer, I guess, in case we need to use it for board clear at some point, so that's fine. We'll go ahead and use the Potions of Plenty just to draw more into our deck, try to find a Maiser as fast as possible. And again, we can use this last command just to, on the Amaryllis just to cycle more. And there's the mint from my opponent, so I guess they have given up on the Machina thing. I mean, the Machina payoff of like Ania doesn't really work super well against Rune anyway, so I guess they're just giving up on it and trying to go for Lubel lethal. We go ahead and evolve their mint here, which is fine for us, we don't really care. Gonna use Izuna's Reconstruction just to draw more into the deck. Then we go ahead and use these insights that we picked up to try and find Maiser. Then we pick up the Maiser there, and then we're gonna use our last lost command to just lock the mint for a turn, so we don't have to worry about taking the damage to face. Also minimize their board space to minimize the amount of plays they can make. They do go for their Ania here as well. I guess they've really just given out on Ania and just going full all in on Necromancy at this point. So yeah, they're still at just 7 Machina cards played, so we're still fine here. Go ahead and use the Magical Squirrel here just to spell boost and draw cards. Try to get our Maiser ready, and then we play the Rosy Card Magician. We're gonna go ahead and get rid of the mint here since it has a lot of attack right now. And then we use Eleanor as well to pick out some cards, and then now Maiser is ready, so we're gonna go ahead and play another Rosy Card Magician to just get rid of this one that they duplicated with the apple. There is actually the consideration for letting that roly-poly alive live on purpose and then just forcing them to overdraw by trading into all their last words draw cards, but I guess I decided to just not do that this time. We go ahead and play the Maiser here. We can evolve here. We do have evil point advantage. Even if they recover the evil point, it's fine. We don't really have payoff in our hand for it anyway. And then just to make hand space, we're gonna play the Mysticism here, just to get rid of that. I mean, it's mostly to make hand space, really. Now we need to find our second Maiser if we want to reach a reliable, and yeah, just if you want a reliable lethal, you kind of need our second Maiser as well. So there's my opponent's Lubel, doesn't really do anything, which is fine. Then they play the Hellfire Strike as well. Start trading off their followers, and there's the Technolog, which they're gonna use to clear the Maiser, because easy to forget, I think, that Rosy Card Magician has a target protection. And do clear it, so that's good for them, I guess. I guess they're trying to find the Ania, and it looks like they didn't get any Ania as they got heals off the Lubel, so that's unfortunate for them. So in order to not let them pick up Ania, we're just gonna go ahead and banish the Vivifona here. And go ahead and play the Eleanor here, just to spell boost cards and try to find our Mystic Maiser. Go ahead and play the Air here, which I mean, not really any like important reason to, but I'm a bit low, so I guess putting out damage shield is good insurance in case I suddenly die to something. We'll go ahead and use the Revealing Officer, and we do pick up the Maiser here, so now we are sort of ready, I guess. Go ahead and play some spells here just to get the spell boost going, so we can try to play Maiser at some point. And that's the Viscaria here. So Viscaria can actually clear Amaryllis, so I guess there's that to worry about, even though, I mean, it's quite expensive, so I mean, it's quite late game, so it can't really clear an early Amaryllis, but that's fine. There's the Friends everywhere, so they are gonna recover an evil point, but we are already like fine on evil point payoff, so we don't really care even if we go under them in terms of evil points. Yeah, our Hastening Conviction, we've already played 2, so we want to get the 3 ideally to get the most convincing lethal. We can go ahead and toss 1 copy of Amaryllis, we only really need 1. Let me go ahead and use the Splendid Mysticism as well, just to get the spell boost going, so we can play Hastening Conviction. It's order mistake, by the way. You should play Maiser first before you play Hastening Conviction to start spell boosting the new copies of Hastening Conviction that it was gonna add to hand. So go ahead and play it as well, and then we discount this hand. And then now that we have a full hand of discounted spells, we don't really need to play anymore after the third. So now we're just trying to set up lethal. So our main goal now is just to spell boost these as much as we can, so that we can try to set up a convincing lethal next turn. So the air will set up the convincing lethal, and then the shield here will also help us not die to Technoloord, even though I don't think they have enough. Yeah, they don't have nearly enough Machina play anyway. But it's just insurance, I guess. There's the Zombo Droid from them as well. And Succession of Balance, which is fine. The runes are either really there's nothing they can do to stop us here. The problem with Machina for them here is that Machina's main ways of preventing damage to face is they have a damage shield off the Ania spell, they have a ton of healing, and Roly-Poly is a very sturdy ward, but since our damage is two damage pings of a spell, it's very hard for them to stop it with any sort of effect. Even the damage will only stop like 2 or 3 damage, and wards don't do shit against Hastening Conviction. So yeah, we're sort of a natural enemy for Machina Shadow. If only this was the more popular deck over Wrath, then we would have an easier time. But we can actually kill them without Amaryllis here, but I figured might as well just use the Amaryllis. I'm pretty sure this is lethal even without Amaryllis. So there's the Amaryllis here. We're gonna go ahead and spell boost to reach the spell boost 10, and we're gonna play the Hastening Conviction here. Go ahead and play another one. Go ahead and play another one. Go ahead and play another one, and then like, I mean, we just played Hastening Conviction and they die. So this Amaryllis definitely helps making lethal easier. So yeah, let's move on to the next game. So our last match for today will be against Haven. We're finally going first this time. I guess I'm going first matches in, because this deck's matchup going first is really bad. So we don't really keep Amaryllis. I'm pretty sure I don't keep it. But yeah, I don't really keep Amaryllis against Haven because there's nothing to use it to clear. So we go ahead and toss it, use it for late game instead. Try to find card draw like Fate's Hand and Eleanor, so we can draw through our deck, find our Maisers, find our key pieces. Nothing to do here, so we're gonna go ahead and pick up the Magical Squirrel here. For this deck, you really don't want the owl because the owl needs evil points and you want to save them as much as possible to use our evil point payoffs. We're just gonna go ahead and draw into our deck with the Magical Squirrel here, pick up the Slough's Command, which I don't really use for anything in the past. And this is the Divine Wolf, so this is, I mean, it could still be Amulet or a Laina, we don't really know yet. We're gonna go ahead and use the Slough's Command here to draw through our deck. Make sure to hit face before playing the Slough's Command. I'll go ahead and just toss the Amaryllis here. Tossing Amaryllis here may be a bit of a mistake, I think, but I guess I wanted the Curse of Suffering for some reason. And there's the Laina, so this is most likely Laina. There is a small chance it's still Amulet that's just playing Laina, which does exist, but we don't know. So yeah, there's the Concordia as well, so this is probably just Laina at this point. So we go ahead and play the Curse of Suffering here, just to get some spell boost going, and then we're gonna draw into our deck. We don't really need the damage shield of Air in this matchup, so we'll just go ahead and get rid of her. Then we play the Maiser here to cut the spells, and once again we're just gonna... Oh, I guess I choose not to evolve the Maiser here for some reason. I would say it's probably a better good idea to evolve the Maiser here, but... Oh, I want the evil point advantage actually. No, this is correct. This is correct. Don't evolve the Maiser here. Against Haven, you actually need to watch out for evil point advantage. Well, against Amulet, you need to watch out against evil point advantage. I guess not so much against Laina, although getting hit with the what's the card called? Elexil, or when they have more evil points than you, is pretty nasty, so I guess it's worth playing around that. We go ahead and drop our second Maiser, drop our Maiser here. We have Amaryllis here, so we don't have to worry about trying to find lethals as much. So we're going ahead and play the Court Magician, go ahead and draw through our deck here, pick out another Air, which is fine. Then we go ahead and play the Hastening Convictions just to get to the point where they are actually doing damage. We go ahead and evolve the Maiser here to put them to 0 cost to set up for lethal next turn mainly. Use it to clear board as well while we're here. Get rid of the Odette over the Laina, because the Odette will actually can be annoying if we pop it accidentally with the Hastening Conviction while we're trying to get lethal. It might heal them and ruin our lethal plan. So yeah, we definitely gotta get rid of that. And that's the Cottontail Chirurgeon from them, which is gonna recover that evil point as well as some of a bunch of followers for them. You can see I'm not exactly the most concerned about clearing their followers, and the reason being is that they don't have that much burst damage. We're quite aware of what burst damage that they can pull out because it's very limited by their PP count. And this one does a bit of damage but not that much either, so, and we have a ton of healing anyway, so we're not really scared of that damage. So we go ahead and just play towards our win condition instead of worrying about trying to clear the board. And there's the Concordia again, so I guess they'll have a lot of copies there. It's fine, so we'll go ahead and slam the Amaryllis here, which we'll be able to kill our opponent with. Go ahead and evolve the Amaryllis. And then we go ahead and play the Hastening Conviction here just to get it active. With Amaryllis on board, Hastening Conviction only needs to be played 7 times for lethal, so it's very much more lenient than without Amaryllis. So yeah, this is just a nice lethal, so that's it for this game. That's it for the games I have for you today actually, so let's move on to some ending thoughts, I guess. Well, that's it for the games I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. It was pretty fun deck, I think, Spellboost, even though it's maybe not the best deck ever. I like the fact that it can actually heal through Wrath's damage as long as they don't high roll, which is pretty absurd to think about because Wrath has a very ridiculous amount of damage. So yeah, pretty fun deck, I think. I do like this list a lot. The fact that it heals and draws a lot of cards, it feels nice. It's sort of like you heal and draw like a zombie and survive through the opponent's damage so that you can reach your own OTK. They have to find a balance between like setting up your own OTK as well as healing up and surviving your opponent's damage. So I think it's a bit interesting to play this deck. So yeah, definitely give this deck a try if you think it looks fun, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.